Right now at 5, authorities in Pittsburgh make a second arrest in connection with a November homicide.
And we've got a chilly start to the day. It's going to be breezy, but it will be much warmer this afternoon. And look at that forecast, get you out the doors coming up.
Plus, some Missouri business groups file a challenge to the Show Me State's intention to raise the minimum wage.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's now Thursday. It is December the 12th. We are now 13 days away from Christmas.
Certainly
anybody's
are.
Counting.
Yeah.
And what that makes it, since yesterday, we're down to 98 days until spring.
Which, I mean, it's not really that cold sometimes.
No,
Sometimes it's
And
really cold.
The next few days, it is going to feel a little bit more like springtime
Yeah.
across the air, and then it'll feel a little colder. We'll talk about all that in a moment, but first, it is Thursday. It's not quite Friday yet. You still got to get out the door, and we're going to help you do that. First, with a live look from our camera downtown Pittsburgh. Skies are clear for the time being, but as we discussed yesterday, clouds begin to increase as we head into the afternoon hours, and it is a bit on the chilly side in some locations. 32nd and range line MoDOT camera there, looking back to the west. We're looking good as well. Taking a look at the future track. By this afternoon, from south to north, we'll have the gradual increasing of these clouds. In between, we're going to have southwest winds gusting upwards of 30, maybe even 35 miles an hour. But look at these temperatures out there. Now, there's something great that's going to happen thanks to the cloud cover. Look at how warm we're going to be by 4. And by the time we're like completely covered with clouds, most of us are going to fall back into the low 40s. What happens is once the clouds set in, we get that blanket, that warm air we had ahead of the clouds will actually stick around a bit, and temperatures will be very slow to fall. And so because of that, we're going to level out early with those temperatures. It's still going to be chilly tonight, but not as cold as it has been. We're sitting at 40 in Joplin, 30 in Pittsburgh, and that is a very big temperature discrepancy. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into all of it, but yeah, we've got upper 20s, we've got mid 20s, and then we have low 30s. So yeah, I guess what we're getting here, and the reason I'm just double checking is because yesterday we got a notice that there were some issues getting temperature data in, and I'm just wanting to make sure it's all accurate because there are some wide range discrepancies out there on these temperatures, but it is still a pretty chilly start for most of us. Once you factor in the breeze we've got, though, feels like 18 Iola, 16 in Fort Scott, and we've got other areas feeling like the upper 20s and low 30s out there. So part of this, too, is likely the warm front just rolled through, is in the process of doing so, and we're going to start to see temperatures turning around. 37 when kids get on the bus this morning. South breeze about 10 to 20. It really picks up. Southwest winds gusting again 30, 35. Few clouds when the bus brings them home. 57 degrees. That's where our highs are headed. That should not be the moon. I apologize. My goodness, it is a Friday in my brain. The moon will not be the full screen at 3 o'clock. It'll still be sunny, but we'll have a few clouds. Highs today, upper 50s for most of us, maybe even a couple of low 60s, and a gradual cool down into the evening ahead of rain chances as we head into Friday and Saturday. Details on all that and some fixes I'll make here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, Pittsburgh police make another arrest in connection with a November murder case. Yesterday's arrest stems from the November 27th murder of 29-year-old Fedor Lee Warren Lomax at a home on South Elm Street in Pittsburgh. Now, officers found Lomax suffering from gunshot wounds inside one of the apartments. He later died at the hospital. Now, shortly after the shooting, officers tracked a suspect to a home on the 300 block of East Park Street. There they found 26-year-old Kevin Huckhill hiding in the attic. Now, police arrested Huckhill on an outstanding Crawford County felony warrant for failing to appear on a previous drug charge. Now, he's now facing second-degree murder charges, felony interference with law enforcement, and felony in possession of a firearm. Yesterday, police arrested 28-year-old Shannon Marie Roberts, also on the 300 block of East Park Street, for various charges. Now, they include felony interference with law enforcement, obstructing an apprehension, and concealing or tampering with evidence. Authorities are investigating a shooting in Webb City. Investigators say around 5:30 yesterday morning, 2 people with gunshot wounds drove themselves to the Airport Drive neighborhood market. One male victim was grazed by gunfire and a female victim suffered a life-threatening gunshot wound. She's listed in critical condition. Now, the 2 were wounded at a home on the 1300 block of West Austin. Authorities came to the home at around 5:45 and remained there for nearly 3 hours before 4 people came out. All 4 were detained, and both victims have been transported to an area hospital. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Missouri business groups have now filed a legal challenge to the newly passed Proposition A concerning minimum wage. Now, several groups have joined together and are speaking out against Prop A for financial and legal reasons. In a joint statement, they state the measure will, quote, increase prices for consumers and impose significant financial burdens on businesses. Now, these groups have submitted a legal challenge to the Missouri Supreme Court, hoping to get the proposition invalidated. Well, the challenge claims the proposition has misleading language that creates prejudice for the amendment, and that's why they believe the proposition is invalid. The community turned out in Carthage last night to support a fundraiser for a hit-and-run victim. Braxton Thrasher was struck on his moped back on November 30th and suffered traumatic injuries. Since then, the Carthage teen has dealt with a number of surgeries and has moved from Springfield to St. Louis for more extensive care. Last night, his employers at Domino's Pizza in Carthage hosted a fundraiser for Braxton and his single mother to help offset some of the medical expenses. Domino's says the turnout was so great, their projected orders actually doubled and even stopped taking orders or they would have ran out of food. Now, if you missed out last night, Domino's says they will continue to honor the fundraiser coupons through the weekend. Well, some big news for a local industry. Schreiber Foods in Carthage, Missouri announces plans for a major expansion. That expansion includes construction of a new 168,000 square foot production facility featuring state-of-the-art technology. Now, the $211 million investment is expected to create 150 new jobs. The project is scheduled to begin next month with completion scheduled for 2027. Schreiber Foods has been part of the Carthage community since 1950 and currently employs more than 1,300. And a Carthage philanthropic group announces they're gearing up for its fall grant season. Carthage 365, a giving circle created by the Carthage Community Foundation, will begin taking applications for its fall grant round on Thursday, January 2nd. Now, applicants can come from civic, education, or faith-based groups serving the Carthage area. All applicants must be completed and submitted online by January 17th. Grant announcements will be made mid-February. Pittsburgh high school students will soon need to put away their cell phones, AirPods, and cordless headphones during class. A new rule takes effect January 1st. The school is taking action to reduce distractions and improve focus in the classroom. The assistant principal says he consulted with faculty and staff to develop the rules aimed at serving students better and creating a more productive learning environment.
We have a district and building approved policies for how we handle those crisis situations, and I actually feel like we have very good, strong policies there that we train and do year round, and none of those policies have anything or any need for students to have their cell phone.
Now, Krotz goes on to say students can use their cell phones during breaks or on buses, but need to make sure they are following all school policies. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes coming up on the KOAM Morning News. A Missouri Southern quarterback enters the transfer portal. We'll have those details. Plus, hundreds of farmers protest in London over a proposed government tax hike. And we have a warmer and breezy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
We start with some college football news. Missouri Southern quarterback Luke Sampson has entered the transfer portal with 1 year of eligibility remaining. Sampson has been the starter for the Lions for the entirety of the 2023 and 2024 seasons and for 3 games back in 2022. In his time at Southern, Sampson has thrown for over 6,000 yards and amassed 56 total touchdowns. As a junior in 2023, Sampson received All-MIAA honorable mention, and in his final game of the 2024 season, he set the program record for most touchdowns in one game with 6 against Central Missouri. Shifting gears to Kansas high school football, the Kansas Football Coaches Association releases its all-state teams this week. Here's a look at the local players to receive all-state honors. We're starting Class 1A. Jayhawk Lynn, kick returner Ryan Broyles, and tight end Braden Nation both get named to the all-state team, as does Colgan offensive lineman Michael Westoff. In Class 2A, we have 3 more local all-state honorees, Blake Ellis from Humboldt and his teammate Kyler Isbell. The two of them helped lead the Cubs to an undefeated regular season and a trip to the Class 2 sectionals. And Katy Valley's Ben Matthews also receives all-state honors. Over at Class 3A, just one local player is named to this all-state team. That's Frontenac running back Gavin Withun. He helped lead the Raiders to an undefeated regular season and rushed for more than 1,300 yards while missing 2 games with an injury. Rounding things out with Class 4A, 2 players from Coffeyville receive all-state honors. Running back Aaron Tunstall and offensive lineman Keaton Jones. Fort Scott offensive lineman Luke Harris is featured as well. 3 Chinook Blue Comets are on the team, all on the defensive side of the ball. Defensive lineman Cade Small and defensive backs Quentin Harding and Elliott Stevenson. Still to come, the FDA advances a proposal to set a nicotine limit on tobacco products. Plus, gotten their check of the warm and eventually somewhat rainy forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's coming up now on 5:17 on this Thursday morning. We're going to start with the future track by noon. We are going to start to see clouds gradually increase across the area. We'll have southwest winds gusting 30, maybe 35 miles an hour at times, but that is bringing in much warmer air for us. Now, the clouds are moving in at just the right time because we will be reaching our peak heating as these clouds kind of layer up over us, and that will help slow down the temperature drop as we head through the late evening and overnight hours tonight. So you can see by the evening we are going to get chilly, and some locations could fall back through the 30s, but I think most of us should be hanging out in the low 40s as we start our Friday morning. Now, during the day Friday, we're going to have an opportunity for some isolated to widely scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder or 2 out there. No severe weather is expected out of anything we're seeing this Friday, but just a heads up, we could get some thunder here and there. Temperatures will be just a little cooler tomorrow because it'll be cloudy all day. And, of course, with the rain chances, that'll keep us a little cooler. Then as we go overnight and into Saturday, take a look. We're getting a line of showers and thunderstorms out there. And, again, no severe weather is expected out of any of this activity. But we could have some thunderstorms as we go overnight Friday into early Saturday morning. So here we are at 5 a.m. We'll go down a little bit further to 9. Now we're starting to get on the end of these showers and storms. And they should be pretty well done by about noon with skies gradually clearing. But we'll spend a good portion of the day mostly cloudy, and then as we head into our Sunday, we'll have some additional shower chances out there. In Joplin right now, it's 40. Feels like 32 with a south breeze at 15. And I did do some double checking. We just do have temperatures all over the place, or we've got a number of reporting stations with errors. But with that warm air mixing in now, we're starting to get that kind of mix of where we're feeling the difference and other places where we're not. So we've still got some upper 20s, low to mid 30s, even some low 20s out there. So a big mix of temperatures. And you factor in the winds that are associated. We've got 18 is what it feels like in Iola, 16 in Fort Scott, and then again a mix based on how much of that warm air is kind of settled into your specific area. These wind chills, low, mid, upper 20s, and some low 30s across the area. Get our day underway, 39, sunny skies, 51 by 11 o'clock this morning. We're going to warm up pretty quickly. Highs today going into the upper 50s. Some of our southern counties could even make the low 60s. Southwest winds gusting to 30. Clouds increasing into the afternoon and evening, and they eventually go mostly cloudy. And you see, once those clouds thicken up, the temperature drop slows. and we should eventually have most of us in the low 40s with a southeast breeze around 5 to 10. Winds will pick up again tomorrow out of the south, gusting 30 to 35 miles an hour. That'll linger into our Saturday with some of those showers and storms, then maybe some evening showers Sunday. So most of Sunday should be good and into the low to mid 60s. More showers Monday. Here's that cold front. Now, yesterday it was showing up on Wednesday. It looks like it might be a day early. You can get here Tuesday. So 60 by Monday, and then temperatures dropping back down a bit as we head into the rest of the next work week. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning. Drug overdose deaths in the U.S. are on a downward trend. Now, as of July of this year, fatal overdoses were 17% lower than they were during the prior 12-month period. And that's according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. But despite the recent steep drop, CDC data shows drug overdose deaths remain as high as they were at the end of 2020. The medical experts say they can't pinpoint a specific factor that explains why the number of drug overdose deaths have fallen since hitting a record high last summer. However, they speculate a wide range of ongoing health-based efforts could be having an overall impact. On Wednesday, the Biden administration told reporters some of their policies, including battles against drug cartels, played a role in the decline. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has proposed a rule that could lower the amount of nicotine in tobacco products. Now, the FDA has been developing the rule since 2022, which would require tobacco companies to reduce the amount of nicotine in traditional cigarettes. The agency submitted the proposal to the Office of Management and Budget on Tuesday. Now, there won't be any immediate changes to tobacco products. The Office of Management and Budget's approval process could take months. And there will also be a public comment period on the proposal. It's also unclear what the FDA will do with such a proposal under President-elect Donald Trump. Well, it's time for some holiday cheer, but as you get together with friends and family, you're likely to be tempted by all those goodies you're not used to indulging in. Now, experts say maintaining your health over the holidays isn't impossible. Mandy Gaither has tips on how to avoid holiday weight gain.
From holiday cookies to cakes and carbs, overdoing it on holiday treats can be the gift that keeps on giving.
The average person gains about a half a pound to 1 pound during the holiday season.
Dr. Jesse Bracamonte with Mayo Clinic says many people don't lose that weight. Over time, it can add up.
It puts us at risk for problems such as diabetes, heart disease, hypertension, some types of inflammatory problems, such as even some cancers.
Maintaining a healthy weight during the holidays can be hard. Bracamonte says it's okay to enjoy food you love, but be strategic.
Stay on your focused mealtime plans, which means if you have breakfast, have your breakfast. Stick to your lunch. Try not to overindulge and skip meals.
Bracamonte says to limit sugary drinks and alcohol, which can add empty calories. Remember to keep up with exercise, even a 10-minute walk before or after holiday gatherings. Control your stress level. We tend to eat more when we're stressed, and don't graze at those gatherings.
Have a small plate to place the food on rather than doing the eat and peck method. You tend to eat more calories with that. Having a smaller plate may help to kind of limit those calories.
Finally, slow down and savor the holiday food.
You're typically going to be more conscientious of what goes in your mouth. And plus, what goes in your mouth, you must enjoy.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Well, Mayo Clinic experts say if you do drink alcohol over the holidays, try alternating a cocktail with water or carbonated water with some flavoring to save a few calories. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
And we've got, for some of us, a cold start, others a chilly start. There is a bit of a difference. We'll have another look at your forecast when we come back.
Right now at 5:30, we'll hear from an HVAC technician who helps keep people warm when the temperatures cool off.
And you'll be able to give your furnace a bit of a break out there as we start to warm up, but now's the time to make sure it's working because it's going to get cold again. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door, coming up.
Plus, a Christmas classic from the 80s serves as trivia night inspiration for the Parsons Public Library.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:29. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is Thursday, December the 12th. It's 12/12.
12/12. How about that?
It happens every year,
doesn't it?
but it's still fun.
It's still fun. It is fun.
It's always fun when you reach those days. It's 12/12. We are now 13 days from Christmas. And then, New Year's is just right after
really
that.
Is.
It'll be 2025.
Yeah.
2 weeks from today, it will officially be the new year, which is just insane. So hopefully you got your Christmas shopping done. Of course, we had our Toy Box Tuesday yesterday. We still want to thank everyone for helping out. And you can still donate through our website or through donation centers, but you can find a full list on our website as well.
Absolutely.
All right, well, that's our show for now. We'll see you back here tomorrow. No, so we've got some weather to talk about. We have some rain incoming. We'll get to that in just a moment. But first, we need to get you ready to go on this Thursday. And we're going to do that with a quick look outside from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. For now, again, the skies are clear. I've double checked. I just wanted to be sure because every so often, believe it or not, National Weather Service data can go foul on us. It can go play some havoc. It's not actually playing havoc. We have a very broad mix of temperatures this morning, but otherwise looking good. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line also looking pretty good this morning as well. On to the future track we go. By noon, we're going to have southwest winds out there gusting 30, maybe 35 miles an hour. And clouds will be on a steady increase from south to north. So we'll start to go partly cloudy this afternoon and into the evening, and then by overnight, late evening and overnight, we will go mostly cloudy, which that should slow down the temperature drop overnight. So it's 40 in Joplin. It really is 10 degrees colder in Pittsburgh, sitting at 30. These temperatures, so here's that warm front. There's the low pressure system way off to our west. It's just sliding through the area. So because of that, we're getting that mixed bag of temperatures where the warmer air is having an impact and then where it's not had that impact yet. So mid upper 20s, low mid and even upper 30s across the area. So almost a 20-degree range in temperatures in some locations. Wind chills though, 17 Grove, 18 in Fort Scott, 18 in Stockton. So we've got that mix as well based on, of course, the surface temperatures, but we still have those wind chills to contend with this morning. Kids get on the bus, grab the jacket, 37 for most of us. South breeze 10 to 20, so it's still going to feel a little colder out there. Clear skies, a few clouds this afternoon, 57 degrees when that bus brings them home. That's where our highs are headed for most of us, upper 50s, maybe in some low 60s in our southern counties. And again, clouds gradually increasing as we head into the evening. As I mentioned, we have some rain chances tomorrow into tomorrow night. We have even warmer temperatures on the way. We'll go over all those details with you in the full forecast there in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon, Chris. Thanks. Well, cold weather can cause a number of problems when people are trying to keep warm. Authorities this week had to respond to a chimney fire in the Kelsey Norman neighborhood of Joplin. Responders alerted one resident before helping them to safety, and it took about 90 minutes to extinguish the fire. There were no injuries. Now, if you intend to use a fireplace, you can head over to KOAMNewsNow.com for a complete interview with the Joplin Fire Training Chief Justin Luno on the importance of making sure your chimney is properly inspected and cleaned by a professional. And as winter kicks into gear, it might be a good time to get your heating system of your house looked at. Now, local technicians recommend getting your system looked at early before temperatures dip to cool. It's also a good idea to go ahead and replace your system's filter, and a standard one-time maintenance call can cost somewhere in the realm of $100 to $200, but could save you thousands in repair costs if an issue is detected ahead of time.
Typically there'd be one price increase at the beginning of a year, 4 to 6%, then we're done for the year. And over the last 3.5 years, you could pretty well count on every quarter a price increase. Things have become so expensive that the average person is in a perfectly reasonable position to wonder, how am I going to pay for this?
Now, Osborne encourages homeowners to regularly replace the filters in their heating system, and if they have any issues, to contact a local HVAC technician as soon as possible. Well, a classic holiday tale finds inspired new life in southwest Missouri. The McDonald County Drama Department and Dabbs Greer Theater Society brings Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol to the stage. KOAM photojournalist Ty Parks takes us inside the production for a closer look at what makes this one different and unique to the region.
We smelled it outside the baker's. Oh my, we did, didn't we? We knew it was ours.
Because it is so important to find redemption in our life. And this story just exudes that. You know, people can do wrong in their life, but if they change, it changes their life and changes everybody around them. That's why it's really important. Most celebrated alumni is Dabbs Greer. Dabbs Greer's iconic character is Reverend Alden from Little House on the Prairie. Reverend Alden was a real person, so we are doing a trilogy of plays about this character, Reverend Alden. We started in October, and it was Heartache in Waseca. This is actually Christmas in Waseca with Reverend Alden's telling of a Christmas carol.
He has walked slower these last few evenings. I haven't known him to walk with Tiny Tim upon his shoulders, very fast indeed.
And so have I, often.
Going back and finding that emotion that's in your life. All of us have things that have really made us tear up, made us feel things inside. So you use that method, you use that emotion as you are doing that scene. So you're recalling that emotion as you do the scene.
What is today, my fine fella? Today? Why, it's Christmas Day!
I played it last year, and I wasn't as good. I was only a sophomore last year, and it was my first big role. And honestly, I don't exactly know how I can try to play this angry, mean character that everyone hates. I've kind of seen it before, and I just kind of go off of that. I just try to take account of every action that I make and just see how it affects others, because after playing this play, I can see how any action can affect other people negatively or positively. So I just try to make sure that I don't ruin anyone else's life, day, you know.
Tell me that this is not my end! Tell me! Please!
Well, tickets for the full performance is scheduled for December 13th through the 15th are $10 for each, or $5 for bundles of 10 or more. The proceeds support the ongoing efforts of the McDonald County Performing Arts Program. Well, for many people, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation remains the holiday go-to, even after multiple viewings. And how much do they know about the classic Christmas comedy? Well, the Parsons Public Library put that to the test last night with a Christmas Vacation trivia night. Now, visitors could test their Christmas Vacation knowledge and enjoy some ice cream.
You know, it's an older movie, so a lot of people have probably seen it, and we thought, why not?
I gotta be honest, it was because my mom, she loves it, and I love watching it with her as well, so.
That event took place at the Cherry on Top Ice Cream Parlor. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Well, protests continue outside South Korea's National Assembly demanding the impeachment of the country's leader. Plus, the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization is working to clear landmines in Ukraine. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Well, topping World Watch, TikTok Canada filed a motion for judicial review with the country's federal court in an effort to overturn an order to shut down the app. Now, the Canadian industry minister announced plans to shut down TikTok in the country last month following a security review of its parent company, ByteDance Ltd. Now, TikTok alleges the government did not work with the company regarding the security concerns, and it says the decision is unreasonable and unfair. Now, the company reports having 14 million users in Canada, which is around 1/3 of the population. Well, farmers across the UK protest in London over a proposed government tax hike. Hundreds of farmers slowly drove their tractors through the streets of central London Wednesday towards Parliament in a show of solidarity. The farmers are protesting against changes to an inheritance tax, a move they claim will be a major blow to struggling family farms. Now, the so-called RIP British farming protest is the second major demonstration to be held in London to denounce the measure, which was announced in the new government's budget in October. Hundreds of protesters peacefully demonstrated outside South Korea's parliament building. They're demanding the impeachment of the country's leader, President Yoon Suk-yeol. Police were present, but no disruptions were made. Now, after a few hours, the crowd left. Yoon imposed a martial law in the country for the first time in 40 years on December 3rd. Now the liberal opposition Democratic Party is pushing for a motion to impeach the president. Yoon later apologizing for imposing that law, saying he will not try to avoid the legal and political consequences of his actions. With the Russian invasion in Ukraine dragging closer to the 3-year mark, the conflict continues having great impacts on global agriculture. And to try and relieve the issue, United Nations teams are desperately trying to remove landmines from fields. Shanley Painter takes a closer look at the progress and hope for the future.
The war in Ukraine may be worlds apart for many people, but the ongoing Russian invasion continues having dramatic consequences on a global scale. That's according to United Nations officials trying to bring Ukraine's grain production back to pre-war levels. The U.S. Department of Agriculture lists Ukraine as one of the world's top suppliers of corn, wheat, and sunflower seeds. But much of the farming has been interrupted as Russian troops seek wider land grabs. But in order for Ukrainian farmers to be able to plant, there must be peace in their fields. To achieve this, the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization is working to clear landmines and other war debris.
We have one field of 24 hectares in Luzi area. As of today, we have cleared 15 hectares of 24.
It's a dangerous task, especially with many fields close to the front lines. The UN says about 400 people have been killed and more than 900 have been wounded from landmines and other munitions since the war began in 2022.
I'm very impressed by the capacity of Ukrainian agriculture to respond to a very difficult crisis situation.
UN teams map fields with satellite technology before technical experts survey the land. Crews are also busy assessing the health of the soil. Prior to Russia's invasion, Ukraine was exporting 6 million tons of grains per month. That's enough to feed 400 million people globally.
And that's a look at World Watch. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. We're coming up on 5:47 on this Thursday morning, and into the future track we go. By this afternoon, we're going to have southwest winds gusting 30, maybe 35 miles an hour, so it's going to be a bit on the breezy side. We're also going to start to see clouds gradually increasing from south to north as we head through the afternoon. And the clouds are coming in at just the right time where we're going to be reaching some of our peak heating, which means it's going to help trap in some warmer air, which also should mean that temperatures are going to be a little slower to fall for most of us tonight. Could still get some cold spots in our northern counties, but I believe most of us will be in the low 40s as we start our Friday. Friday is going to start cloudy. It's going to be breezy again on Friday as well, with south winds gusting 30 to 35 miles an hour. Now, through the day Friday, we'll have opportunities for isolated to widely scattered showers and maybe a thunderstorm or two out there. Most of us, should remain dry through the first 3 quarters of our Friday. It'll be late Friday and early Saturday that we'll actually get more organized shower and thunderstorm activity out there. And again, not anticipating any severe weather. And also, while it may get chilly tomorrow night, it isn't going to be cold enough for any of this to turn to snow or anything else like that. This should all still be rain. And it will continue through the early morning hours on our Saturday and through the first half of our Saturday. By about 9 a.m., showers that should be on the downward trend. Skies will gradually begin to clear. We'll spend most of our Saturday mostly cloudy out there. And then as we go into our Sunday, most of Sunday dry. It'll be warm and then more rain chances, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. First, though, it is 40 in Joplin. It feels like 32 with a south wind at about 15 miles an hour. Skies again are clear for now. Across the area, we do have this wide range of temperatures. It's about a 15 to almost 20 degree range in temperatures out there. We've got mid-upper 20s, low mid-upper 30s, and again, we're even starting to see a couple of 40-degree readings here and there. But then you factor in the wind. We got 18 wind chills out there. 17 Iola, 18 Fort Scott, 17 in Stockton. So it does feel a little bit colder for most of us across the area because we still have that breeze going on. And again, it will increase later in the morning. Clear skies, 39 to start, 51 by 11 a.m. And then, of course, the gradually increasing clouds this afternoon. We should make upper 50s. Some of our southern counties may even make the low 60s today. Clouds increase, that steadies out the temperature drop, and the majority of us should be into the low 40s with a southeast breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. We'll have some evening showers again on Sunday. Ahead of that, though, look at that. Low to mid 60s, 60 on Monday. Some showers. Cold front looks to be a day early. Yesterday it was showing up Wednesday. Now it's showing up Tuesday, and it'll kick our temperatures back down into the 40s for most of next week. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, an East Alabama high school is taking culinary classes and skills to the next level by providing students with the opportunity to run a food truck. Opelika High School opened its new culinary food truck on Tuesday morning, and Justin Brown reports.
This has always been kind of a dream concept that came to fruition, yes.
Tuesday morning, Opelika High School cut the ribbon to officially open its new culinary food truck. The truck is a converted old school bus originally from the Tallahassee area. And Opelika High School principal Kelly Fisher says it's a one-of-a-kind opportunity.
I just think it's the coolest thing. I mean, I think about my time in high school, and I definitely didn't have this same experience, but I also think that it's just a testament to how people in Opelika really are doing everything to serve all of our students in every way that we can.
The food truck will be a student-led business. Culinary instructor Judy Eldred says it's designed to give students in the culinary classes hands-on experience in food and customer service, as well as real-world business and marketing practice.
We'll begin having the students create their own menus. They're going to compete against different teams of students, see whose menu gets the most revenue, and they'll do all the things from the business side, through marketing, through sales, all of it.
Tanvi Kumar is a senior and has plans for a future culinary career. She says she's excited to get a head start by working in the food truck.
It's scary, but it's also really cool that we get to experience this. Not a lot of, like you said, not a lot of high school experiences, and it's really good for people that want to get into culinary and have this experience behind them, like owning a food truck at this age or running one. It's new to everybody, so it's really nice to have it.
What a cool experience. Stick around. We'll be right back. Now, with just under 2 weeks to go until Christmas Day, there's still time to finish your holiday shopping, but what about your holiday shipping? Well, that's another story. Deadlines for shipping packages in time for Christmas are quickly approaching, and for the U.S. Postal Service's ground shipping, the deadline is December 18th within the lower 48 states. And for USPS Priority Mail Express, you have until December 21st. And for FedEx, the deadline for 5-day shipping is December 17th, or you can cut it as close as Christmas Eve, December 24th, with same-day shipping. The deadline for UPS is December 19th or December 23rd with the next-day air. A trio of dinosaur fossils are expected to fetch big bucks at an auction across the pond. Now, 3 skeletons from the Jurassic period will go under the hammer at Christine's London auction house later today. An adult and young Allosaurus and a Stegosaurus skeleton are on display ahead of the bidding. Christine spokesperson James Hyslop says it's very rare to see a dinosaur skeleton come up at auction. Now, the adult and juvenile Allosaurus will be sold as a pair and are expected to rank in an estimated $6 to $10 million, while the Stegosaurus skeleton could go for $3 to $5 million.
Those are some very expensive fossils, and thankfully there shouldn't be any dinosaur fossil toys that are going to be in the millions of dollar range, unless you just really want to go out and surprise your kids with a dinosaur skeleton that they get to assemble all on their own. I wouldn't do that, but I've seen Lego sets that are like trying to put a dinosaur skeleton together, all right? It'll be sunny through the morning, 39 to start, 51 by 11. Winds increasing out of the southwest. They'll eventually start gusting upwards of 30. Clouds gradually increasing as well once we head into the afternoon, starting to go partly cloudy, and we'll have highs for most of us upper 50s, maybe even a couple of low 60s. Clouds continue to increase through the evening, mostly cloudy. That does help slow down our temperature drop. Most of us should be in the low 40s, but some upper 30s will still be possible with a southeast breeze around 5 to 10 miles an hour. South winds gusting 30 again tomorrow. Isolated to scattered showers through the day, then a few thunderstorms late in the evening and into early Saturday. No severe weather expected. Temperatures continue to be warm. A few more rain chances Sunday and Monday, and another cold front brings us some showers and cooler temperatures for most of the next work week. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.